We've got a Marco deck list here. I scrubbed out in the Treasure Cup today. Unfortunate. 2 Dolphys, and I should have played the anti-Dolphy build, which is this is kind of tailoring towards once again. However, it just didn't work out, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But so I had some extra time. So in today's video, we're gonna talk about Marco in OP09. We will talk about his matchups, the overall deck list here, and explain the choices behind them, how the deck has evolved, of course, and maybe have some gameplay here at the end as well. So first off, overall, in terms of matchups, I think it's important to note we gain, in my opinion, from the new set, 2 bad matchups, being Shanks and being Blackbeard. Blackbeard, of course, turning all of your big drops into just big vanillas, which is important to note. However, we are establishing giant threats throughout, and in doing so, our opponent is going to have to spend cards and possibly not be able to answer these bodies, and that can still be advantageous to us. So I think Blackbeard, is going to be a bit tough, but I think it's negotiable. Shanks, I think, is a bad matchup just because, our weakness is essentially red, and he's the best red deck, and he gets to play a lot of cool cards like this, which will trash our Marco, and then we don't get our Marco. So there's just little nuances like that. And he has Rush, and 12, you drop a 12, and then it makes our math worse, which is something to note, and something that no other deck is going to do against us. So I think we have a bad matchup in Shanks, and then going into it as well, I think we have a bad matchup into the new purple Luffy, just because it's so consistent and so fast, and they have 2 of the best rushers in the game at this point, so it's very important to be cognizant of that, as it might be a little bit of a problem for us. However, I think if you're going to play, I think this is a great building block if you are a diehard Marco fan and you'll play Marco in OP09. I'm a Shanks fan, so I'll be running Shanks. However, I think this list is a great starting point and a step in the right direction. So we got Marco. If you're unfamiliar with his leader ability, you attach 1 Don, you can activate main. Once per turn, draw 1 card, and then place 1 card either on the top or bottom of your deck, and then you get to give one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power for this turn, which goes a real long way. The way I like to view this ability is essentially by attaching 1. If I'm going to attempt to clear, I get 3 Dons, so my 1 Don equals 3, which goes a very long way. And you, of course, can manipulate and filter your deck. And then, of course, best 2K in the game, Otama. It's a 2K. It does literally the best thing in red is gives your opponent minus, which can go, again, a long way. So a big fan of Otama. And then we, of course, got Marco. Marco is really good. We're playing 11 targets for this card, so I only have it as a 1 of, but I think it can come up. This Marco can go a long way if he sticks. You have to be at 2 or less life, which isn't super ideal, but if you establish this body, you're blocking an attack every turn for 1 card, then possibly eating another attack because they want to answer it. So I think this card's good. I think if you could find a way to make more, I think that's good too. Marco. We're playing 3 of these. This is a new addition to the deck. I think it's more called for. Of course, again, red, our biggest weakness. They can trash this now, but most aren't playing any trash cards. They can still bot deck. Grav Blade's still valid. However, against just the regular instances, and if they try to remove him just by organic swinging as well, you get to save him, which I think goes a long way. Plus, on play, you can pop a character with 3k power or less. You can answer a little guy, a Luffy, Bonnie, 1-drops, or even if you're on 6 playing this on 6, you can go Don X1 and then KO like a 5k on Dolphy, which can, again, go a long way and give you a little bit more value from this play. So I think he just has a place here this time around. Rayleigh, best red card out there. Takes a lot of pressure off of you and also removes bodies. Great play when you have a new gate already established, and of course the classic Sanji Rayleigh new gate combo. And then, of course, we get to add a new card from OP09, Ben Beckman. Beckman, of course, giving us a new red target that allows us to trash a card. On top of that, he is more top-endy, and he has counter, which we love to see. Our new gate is 7-8, release 8-8. However, he is just a 7-7, but this ability to trash, I think, goes a long way, especially with, like, still Black being relevant, Blackbeard, and with leader ability, you're able to trash up to an 8K, so that's a really fun addition as well. But yeah, I think this is a great play off of Sanji. Again, top end with counter, decent swing stat. And then another card we see here from OP09 is Lime Juice. Lime Juice being a 2K. This time around, we're only playing 10 2Ks, but Lime Juice being able to turn off a blocker can go a very long way, especially with your leader ability, so you can turn off a 6K blocker, whereas no other deck can really do that outside of Marco. You could play this at 3. I did opt to cut one just because we are playing a bit more Dofi-centric build, which has Fire Fist, and so I just wanted one of those things to just be able to bad manners with some of those bricks. And cutting back down to 3 Newgate just because we are adding in Beckman, I think it's not the worst thing to go 2-4, but I think 3 is just fine this time around. Same here with Sanji. I love for Sanji, but we are like constrained for space. Space is a slight problem this time around, so we want to we're playing really tight. I'm playing a lot of 3s just to kind of fit as much in there as possible, but Sanji, of course, still really good, but there are those faster matchups now, and we just probably won't have time to resolve a Sanji. Now, Jozu at 2. We love Jozu on play. You bounce back a card. We aren't playing any searchers, but you can still hit like an Otama, do a minus, play Jozu, get that 2K back. It's one of the best plays in the deck. I think Jozu still has a spot, especially because you can still, we're playing the Ivankov package. You can spit out a pudding on 4, and then on 6, bounce back that pudding to use with the Jozu. Still playing the Ivankov engine. I just really like this engine. I think there's the argument to not play it because this is 12 cards that take up space, and 12 cards can go a really long way, but this is, of course, one of those few cards that drive value, which we just don't see in this deck. We are playing another value card to kind of get things going with Sanji's Pilaf, which we weren't playing before as well. But I think it's pretty good this time because we just need that value. And then pudding, of course, I don't think it needs to be explained. Duval lets you do this stack, which can be relevant if playing a Sanji on 9. But, of course, just the blocker to kind of take those early hits. Now, we are playing 3 Fire Fist again. Fire Fist is really good against Doflamingo. It's pretty decent into any other matchup. Like, even if your opponent has a Lucky Roo, you can KO that and a small body and get to answer those without having to lose one of your bodies. And it lets you pretty much make them walk back a Jinbei. Bad Manners, Kick Course. Just playing 1. Again, I was playing 3 Lime Juice. We're playing 1 of this just to make these less bricky. But, of course, Fire Fist kind of helps us get rid of those. Pilaf, we're running 4 just because we want some value. The biggest struggle with the deck is having value, and I think that the Pilaf is going to kind of help answer that. And then we're playing 3 Red Rock and 3 Gravity Blade. I think you could play 2 Gravity Blade just because we're playing 3 Fire Fist and up Red Rock to 4. We're playing Red Rock because every deck is playing like a 10 drop, and we want to be able to answer that, especially like, yeah, they negated our effect. We can't attack, but we're going to bottom deck that Teach. Oh, you spammed another Teach. We're going to bottom deck that Teach because on our way building up, we're going to be removing bodies. And so there shouldn't be a lot of threats on board. We're going to bottom deck. And we kind of really just, need to be able to answer those. If they drop a 10 Shanks, if we played Sanji into something, we might be able to just organically swing. But it is a 12, so it'll be a 10, and we'll be going from 8. So it'll still be very expensive to try to answer the body. And, yeah, I think 4-2 is plenty fine, but I do think we do want these Gum Red Rocks. And Gravity Blade, also good for Dofi. Bottom deck some Jinbeis so they can't hit that. Gecko Jinbei, and then also good for just random matchups. Removing 2/6 is really good, and the trigger's also really nice. So let's go ahead and now take a look at some of the cards we could play in the list. Alright, I'm adding this real quick. Okay. So first up is 7 Ace. 7 Ace is really good, especially if you play like a searching engine. Because then you may minus characters by 3k, and it's going to give a lot of value to your Ezos, especially against Doflamingo. You can turn Ezo sideways on a rested 5k, which goes a very long way because they're either going to give you a card or they're going to give you the body. And so it's really good against that. Maybe decent against Purple Luffy just because they turn their card sideways and you get to go sideways at theirs. But they have a lot of value. It's really hard to navigate that matchup overall. But you can go 7 at 5 on a Luffy Taro, which is okay. And then, of course, we got Fosa. Fosa is playable off of Ivankov, which is kind of like the synergy there, and it is an additional blocker. I think you could play this. I was trying to play Lucky Roo, then I realized you could only use it if you had a red hair pirate. So I was like, this effect's so good for red. And I was like, it's only good for Shanks. So that's pretty cool. However, I do think Fosa is pretty decent. You do want those blockers, especially against like Doflamingo, against Purple Luffy, where they're smashing your face, and you kind of just need to protect it. Dragon, I think Dragon may have a place this time around, just because the format, I think, favors a little bit faster play, and being able to spit one of these out, if you can do so while maintaining life, you can really go a long way and put on a lot of pressure. Goldie Roger, I mean, you can just go to 0 and you can play this, and then they can't block. And you establish really big threats. So if you play this, then they just can't block, which could very well just win you a lot of games. It's been a lot of games where I've found myself at 0, so this might actually be relevant. And like a spicy 2 of it's just very hard because the deck is very tight on space. Now, I'm mentioning this Ezo just because it is playable, because when attacking, you have to look at the top 5 for a Wano Kingdom or a Whitebeard Pirates and add 1 to your hand, then bottom deck the rest, and then you discard 1 card. So it pretty much lets you trade cards in your hand and lets you search for cards, but I don't think it's super relevant or good. I'd rather just play an Ivankov and get to draw a card. But I did think, some people might have questions on this, so I did just want to take time to mention it. Now, this is an interesting one because it's Mihawk, and it's a 6 cost. It's a blocker, which is actually really good because then we can have swinger blockers that go a long way. And on play, he replaced himself, so he's a value play. I was heavily looking at this card. I don't think he's a bad 2 of. He does not have counter, but again, we have a 7 blocker. It's going to establish and let you get a free block, essentially, every turn. And he replaces himself and lets you cycle just a little bit more. So I think this card is actually pretty good. And then we've got Marco. Opponent's turn, you trash 1 card from your hand. If this would be KO'd by your opponent's effects, play this card from your trash rested. So you can establish him early and kind of just get you a nice little sticky body. But again, I'm more of a fan of Ivankov, and he doesn't have any counter right here. Richie is just a blocker you can play off of. Richie and Fosa are the same thing. Just like, again, if you want to go like Mihawk, maybe you're playing a little bit more cross-guild because there's another cross-guild card I want to mention, but just figured Richie was worth the mention. Seaquake. I like Seaquake because, 1, you can just don 1, KO anything on Dofi's field for the most part. You can KO those 5s. But then also you can remove a blocker, or you can remove Teach, Marshall D. Teach. This card, Marshall D. Teach, is kind of like our weakness because it's going to let them play in the curve and still smack us for 7 and make them less puddingable. We aren't playing Pudding, which is another card that could just be mentioned here. Because I just felt like I didn't have enough room. And if you're playing blue, everybody's going to assume you're playing Pudding, so they'll play around it anyways, which is pretty great for us. Now we've got Get Lost. Get Lost is just a fun way to play Jet Pistol because we get the leader ability, and you can make a character minus 2,000, and then you can KO a 6K. It doesn't have the luxury of the trigger, though. However, it could remove like 2 different things. So like this could be decent for like Lucci, something like that. I don't think it's good enough to play. However, I do want to mention the special Muggy Ball. The Muggy Ball is a very interesting card indeed, mostly because we can play smaller removal, and we've got Fire Fist, so we can keep their board clear, and if they establish a threat, and it's the only threat, we can play Muggy Ball and return it back to their hand for only 2 Dawn. I think this card has the potential. The question is, like, you know, how you execute with it. How does this card get the most value? And because if they have a 1-drop, they just get to return the 1-drop because they get to pick what card gets returned. But these are all the cards and how I think you can approach Marco. Let's go ahead and jump into some gameplay. But before we do that, let me know in the comments below. What are you playing for OP09? Oh, okay. Blackbeard, I think, is just one of our worst matchups. So I'm going to opt to go second just so that they can't spam a 10-drop. We've got Ivankov and we have Pilaf, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually just going to say, you know what, and keep this. See if we can't find anything. Okay, we got 2. We're going to attach 1 cycle, draw 1. I'm going to place on bottom deck, I think Rayleigh. The Newgate actually goes a long way because he is activate main. Place on bottom deck. I'm going to place him. I don't know if that's correct, but I want to find something. I think this is just slightly more correct. Van Auger. We also have to watch out for Don Q. Again, we do have an answer to Don Q with this. Shiryu, okay. He's a cycler. 7. Starting off aggressive. We're going to take it just because we can afford to. We're going to go ahead and draw. No answers there, but we are going to just go ahead and bottom deck this Fire Fist, I think. I don't think there's anything. Place on deck bottom. I don't think we want to use Fire Fist. We're going to go here. 6. And we're going to establish this Ivankov. This is a 2K. We can leave it on top. Now we've got Lime Juice, of course. And then we've got these 2. We can do a value in like mid-late game. I think I'm going to take this as well. That's unfortunate. Doc Q, okay. Burgess, okay. They play Van Auger. We're going to 6. I don't want to bottom deck Van Auger. I've got too many cards in hand to Ivankov as well, which is unfortunate. So I think I'm going to do a 5-5 here. Maybe I should have just countered, but I wanted to play this, so. Probably not going to get any value off of this engine, which is just, again, unfortunate. 5. Okay. They added a liberation. That's fine. And then we're going to go here. Van Auger can negate, though. Or you can do a minus, which is unfortunate. Everything's just unfortunate. Maybe we should play the 1-drop to minus, and then we can play this. Because again, we're just kind of bricked up right now. This and this would be kind of crazy on 1 turn. Just really want to see what they do. Sadly, don't get to KO anything. But then we get to play Rayleigh. So then they have to start discarding from their hand this next turn. But then I can still play Newgate and pivot, which is really nice. Yeah, he's going to rest him. He's going to liberation to remove. I can't save. If they go 8, I think I'm 2 2s. But then I get to remove this, which is pretty nice. Burgess. We can answer the Burgess, which is also very nice. Vasco 6 at 4. Do I just save? If I save, I'm playing 1 here. I'm drawing a card. I don't know if the value's there, but we're gonna do it. So I'm still gonna have 1 extra card in hand. Okay. We're gonna go ahead. Did they not negate me? They didn't negate me. I get the -3, -2 KO this. I think I'm supposed to punish them here. Yeah, because they should have negated. Now I get to go. Oh, I'm at 6. Now I get to go here and draw a card. Okay. I'm going to go 5 here. Then I'll pass. Okay. They're going to play Burgess. That's fine. Oh, they're cooked. They're cooked. I'm about to hit him with that nasty patty. Do they play? They play blockers, right? I feel like I shouldn't give up I'll give up my lime juice. Why not? Yeah. Uses effect. Draw. Draw. This is crazy. Ready for this? Burgess is answered. Now watch. I'm going to go 4. Honestly, I think I go 6, 6, 8. Yeah, why not? I don't even think I need that one draw specifically. Yeah. Yeah, go 6, 6, 8. They have 1. They play a 10. I'm gonna red rocket. Yeah. Yeah, deck goes hard. With Purple Luffy. I think this is, again, one of our worst matchups. So I really just wanted to play, like, the worst matchups, because then it gives you a great idea. So let's hope they're actually here. I'm going second. I think I need the mulligan. Not great. Not great. 2, 4. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. We're going to play this. I kind of want that red rock. Okay. I will do that. It's still all the same in the end. I'm just going to bottom deck something. 5 at me. I cannot take that. I think I have to give them the 2K. Maybe I could have took it to fish for something, but... Play Zoro Juro, yeah. Now you get the search. Okay. And draw. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Let's go 5 at their face, right? Or no, it's gonna be 6 at their face. So let's not do that. We're gonna draw 2 here. We're gonna attach 1, draw another. Place on deck, bottom. We're gonna bottom deck one of those. -2 here, and we're gonna go 6. And then on 6, I don't know what I'm gonna do. 5 at my face. I'm going to take... I really have 0 idea what I'm going to do. 2, we'll give him a 2. I just don't think he plays any hard removal, so I think this Duval is okay. I'm going to play 7, play Luffy Taro, spit out Sangoro. Okay. I want to activate this to bottom deck this. Or I can bounce Sangoro to hand and establish a threat. Maybe I bounce Sangoro. No, I think taking this off the board. But then again, I get a threat. This is hard. Let's see if they take this. They should counter, right? That's why Ezo searches are really nice. But we started off really rough, too. We'll bottom deck the Luffy. Five at me. Kind of want this for next turn. I'll give you a 1. 6. I'll give you a 2. I will block. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, again, like they have the best rushers in the game, as I highlighted. We're gonna draw a draw. This is great because we're gonna go 1 Don here. We are going to use the ability. Place something on the bottom. Need something out of here. I think it has to be this new gate. Like I would love to play this new gate answer one, but I think I have to answer both of these. -2. And then I am going to go 6 here. Like the whole time up we've just played removal in like the weakest form. It's like, okay, now my next turn is going to be Sanji this. And it's like, how do I just not lose? Okay. I'm going to give him a 1k. 10 I am going to take. They're going to play another one. Or they're going to play 10 drop Luffy. Okay. Okay. I can manage with this. Okay. And they have the 1 for the Gum Gum. Alright. We're going to go 1 here. Draw 1. Place on deck top. Place this here. We need to -2. I can make this a 5. Doesn't get me where I need to be. If we had Newgate, it would. But we didn't establish the Newgate. We're going to... I need to minus one of these. It's got to be Eustace, because I'm a -3, -2. And then remove. So we're going to play here. But this is still a 6. And it's got like a lot of damage towards me. I've got 5, 6. Got 5k. He has 4, 5. He can really eat me up. We're going to go here. Deploy -3, -2, remove, and then we're gonna go 6 at life. Okay. Yeah, again, this is just like the best rusher in the game at this point. And the fact is, I'm going to 0 life this turn. You'll go 8. I think I'm supposed to get out of that. If they poke 5, I'm actually in a really great spot. I don't know what they're going to do. 8. Yeah. That's decent. I don't have a blocker, though. Oh. Haha. I'm just dead. Didn't even see it. Yeah, I don't even think I didn't have enough counter to counter. Lovely. Yeah, but as you guys can see, not a great matchup. But if you're interested in One Piece competitive content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. As always, thank you so much for watching.